Now for square root of 32, again, our goal is to always pick the biggest one in this list to make it as simple for us as possible. Sometimes that doesn't happen though. Sometimes we don't realize something bigger can work into it. So I'm going to show you both kind of ways, if you pick the bigger number, if you don't pick the bigger number. So for square root of 32, the biggest number on this list that can divide into 32 would actually be 16. So I can break this down into 16 times 2. Now I take the square root of both of them. Square root of 16 is 4. And then square root of 2, I cannot break that down anymore. So I'm just going to leave it. And I get 4 root 2 as my answer. Now let's say you didn't know that 16 went into 32. You didn't realize that. And you did something else instead. That's okay. So if I'm looking at this list and I start going from the beginning and say, oh, 32 divided by 4, does that work? Yeah, it does. And then I just stop there and I think, okay, I'm going to use 4 and 8. That's okay. You're just going to have a little bit of extra work. So if I break this down into 4 and 8, square root both, the square root of 4 is 2. Now square root of 8, I can't take the square root perfectly, but if I look back at my list over here, 4 actually can divide into 8. So I can break that down one more time. I can break this down into 4 and 2, still square root both. Square root of 4 is 2, and then I can't break this root 2 down anymore. Now, what's interesting here is I have two whole numbers. I have this whole number here and this whole number here. When you have multiple whole numbers, you're going to multiply them together. So 2 times 2 is 4, and then I still have that root 2 here that I didn't do anything with. So notice how we got the same thing. Obviously, this one was a little bit longer because I didn't fully simplify it at the beginning by grabbing the biggest number. But we get the same thing either way. Now, square root of 80, again, if we're judging off the biggest, right? So if I just start doing this and do 80 divided by 4, well, I know 4 and 20 work, so I could possibly do that, but is there anything bigger? I just keep going. 80 divided by 9 gives me a decimal. Not great. 80 divided by 16. Oh wait, no, sorry. 80 divided by 16. Oh, that actually does work. So 16 and 5 work. So maybe let's use that. If I break this down into 16 and 5, square root, square root. Square root of 16 is 4, and then I cannot break down root 5 anymore because there's nothing else that goes into 5 here. So that'd be my answer. And again, I'm just going to show you what happens if you went with that first one. If you said, oh, 4 and 20 work, that's okay. Square root of 4 is 2, and then that 20 I can break down one more time because I know 4 goes into 20. So 4 times 5. Square root, square root. Square root of 4 is 2. I can't break down with that root 5 anymore. But now I got two whole numbers that I'm going to multiply together. 2 times 2 is 4, and then I still had that root 5. So either way, you get that 4 root 5.